Hi there, dear. I hope that you're doing very well and that your new year is going well and that it is treating you well. I thought today I want to just do a casual this or that video where I'm just going to be going through and asking you this or that questions about objects while also doing some over-explaining, doing a bit of the over-explaining trigger where I'll just over-describe each item, talk about maybe my history with it, where I got it, but mostly describing the item detail by detail, and just hopefully lulling you to sleep with some casual chatting about things. Okay, I'm surrounded here by a bunch of different items, different pairs of items. I've got a bunch of media related things. I've got a couple vintage related things. And then I've got some kind of more techie items, more clicky sounding items. So I've got a variety. There's going to be a lot of tapping, going to be a lot of clicking sounds. And again, all that chatting and soft speaking. Okay, so if that sounds like something you might enjoy, I hope you stick around, okay? For sure. So sit back, grab yourself a cup of your favorite beverage, and we'll get started, okay? So first I'm going to start with my two vintage pieces. I'm going to ask you this or that. Oh my goodness. This was a mistake. This is a huge art piece. I'm going to ask you this or that about these two vintage art pieces. So I'm going to go through and describe each one for you. First off, I've got this really neat art piece. It's kind of a glazed wood on the front with the circular image on this beautiful, beautiful stained, almost like slice of wood. On the back, it's got the little hanging hook, and as you can see, it's more rough on the back. It's kind of slightly stained, but it's had a lot of wear and tear. That's not a bad thing because the front is absolutely stunning. So I've got here in the image, it's all kind of a brown monochromatic tone, but it is this, as I was saying, circular image of a landscape with some Canadian geese flying through on the top, and then some deer with this big, I believe they're called a stag, like the male deer, in the center with the big antlers. And there's kind of like this bright sunlight coming through. And I believe there's a lake at the back there as well. I didn't realize that for a long time, until more recently. And then there's just silhouettes of 1, 2 different deer there in the background. I just think this is such a cool art piece. I'm going to have it on a gallery wall that I'm starting. But I've thrifted this, so I was very happy with this find. It reminds me how much I love nature and being outdoors, but it also reminds me of kind of like one of my favorite seasons of like a fall day. I think part of that's due to it being this whole chromatic-y brown tone. So I think that's super neat. So this is going to be your first option for the this and that question. Or I'm going to have to hold one at a time because this is so large. This massive, beautiful, beautiful painting. I'm just going to be very gentle with it. Of a winter scene. It's a beautiful, beautiful not quite chromatic, but almost chromatic painting as well. I think there's only, I want to say there's only brown and white in this picture, actually. It's just different mixtures of those colors. But you've got these beautiful snow-covered trees. Almost seems like there's some pine ones back there. On the foreground, you have this lovely snowy scene, the couple bits of grass peeking out, and then you've got like a river that's a gentle little river flowing down from up here that seems to be this little tiny waterfall. Then you lead up to just a white, dark gray sky, and then these beautiful snow-covered peaks. I just think it's absolutely stunning. I was so happy I thrifted this item as well the other day. I'm also going to add this to that gallery wall. It's got this huge wooden frame, and then almost like this textured fabric on the middle, and then the inner frame is this just nice gold wood trim. Want to see the back? You can tell the frame is much bigger than the actual painting. We have the canvas here. Feels very soft. It's a little dusty on the bottom, so I have to give it a bit more of a dust before I hang it up. And then there's just the strong hook on the back to hold it up. Okay. So I'm going to see if I can hold both the two up here, okay? I don't know how much is going to be in frame, but... So, for your first this or that, tell me, do you prefer this in your painting or the big winter snowy painting? Yeah, it can be which one you prefer or just a picking this or that. I think it really comes down to how tired you are. Okay, great choice. Thank you. And with all these, feel free to take your time to answer them. You know, this is a slower, more relaxing, chatty video, so there's no rush to make a decision. Okay, fantastic. So I'm going to switch it up a bit to two remotes. One's for the good old Wii system, and then the other is for the Switch. Okay, start with the first one for the Switch. I've only got the one side of one of the Switch controllers here. It's in that standard bright reddish, almost salmon, depending on the light you're looking at it through color. It's got all the buttons in black. It's got the, what would you call this? I'm not sure what the technical term for this is called. I just call it like the button that you use to move. And you've got the directional buttons, which on other controllers, or on the other matching pair, sorry. It's actually like the A, B, Y, X buttons. These just have standard arrow directions. Below you've got the, I believe it's the capture. Button. Then you have the negative button here for the different prompts for that. See here, I've got the colors going. It is pairing when it's this green back and forth color. You've got the two buttons at the top here as well, the SL and SR buttons. You've got the top left trigger button, and then the bottom ZL trigger button. And on the back there's just the little, can't really hear maybe, but little button that helps you unclip this from the system. Okay, and then our second one is the standard Wii remote. It's in a white color with the clear rubber cover to protect it. It's got the typical up, down, left, right button. The very clicky back button. It's got the big clear A button on the front. It's got the plus and the minus button, the little blue and white home button, very quiet button. It's got the little spot where the audio is going to come out, and then it's got buttons 1 and 2 with the blue lights that come on to tell you if it's pairing or which remote yours is. Okay, so I'd love if you would decide for me this or that. Okay, sounds good. Thank you very much. Okay, so now I've got here 2 book options for your this or that decision. First off, I specifically have 2 like graphic novel-esque books for you to choose from, okay, specifically. So first off, I have this beautiful book called The Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. I got it a couple years ago, but it was very moving, very sad, but very moving. It is a very It's a relatively short book, as graphic novels tend to go. But I probably got it in one sitting. Found I just couldn't put it down. It is this story about, in short, without explaining too much, a young boy whose mother has cancer, and basically he has this monster that starts to appear in his dreams every night and tries to almost talk with him through things, but in a very overt way by asking him questions about life. It's the boy trying to just process family loss and illness and cope with being a kid and a young teenager, that type of thing at the same time. So it's very good. The main draw of this book is the gorgeous like black and white images done by Jim Kay, who's the illustrator. I don't know how well you can see, but these are some beautiful, beautiful images. We've got like the house here, the lights on, and then outside is the monster. And this like silhouetted gray, almost looks like a tree being in a way, with all these vines and things sticking out. Some of the pages are not full images, some of them are the text as well, with like some type of imagery of some kind in that black and white. So these are just absolutely gorgeous. And what I like about the illustrations that go along with it as well, that I noticed not really on my first read through, but later in the future, is that the images never show the faces of the characters. Everything, oh, like this really cool one, is silhouetted. So the boy in the story, you never see his face. The monster, there's some eyes, but you're not seeing the face either. There's no drawings of any other characters as well. Oh, like this one is gorgeous. So it makes for a very interesting story. So that is your option number 1. Option number 2 is more of your standard graphic novel. When you think of a graphic novel, it is a like sci-fi fantasy story about this young robot boy. It's called Descender. It's by Jeff Lemire and Dustin McEwen. Jeff Lemire is pretty famous. He does a lot of other stuff. He does the Sweet Tooth graphic novel series that got made at least into one season of a show, I think, on Netflix. I'd love if they did this as a Netflix show. Oh my gosh, that'd be amazing. It is one of my favorite graphic novel series, definitely my favorite sci-fi series of all time, I think. But, so see how beautiful this artwork is. You've got all these different characters, robots, some alien people, some humans. But without giving too much away, it's basically about this young robot boy who gets kind of like taken from his family, and this other cast and crew of like robots and creatures in this fantasy world where they're basically trying to survive post a kind of cataclysmic event. I'm not going to say too much more about that, but I think it is a pretty cool concept for sure. I can't give, again, too much away because it kind of gives away some of the plot twists that are happening in the first couple of books. I've read not the whole series or what has come out in the full series. I've read the first 3, I want to say, but I really enjoyed it. But it's in this very cool, like watercolored style, which I really thought was really neat, instead of being the typical kind of fantasy graphic novel look of it being very harsh in terms of its design, with harsh, strong lines, things like that, and coloring. It's very soft, which I found very neat for such a intense story. Yeah, it's a story about like family and loss and discovering yourself, about trying to save, the people around you or the planet and all those types of things. So it's a very poignant and very enjoyable sci-fi, especially if you're looking for something that's intense in a sci-fi way, but has a lot of unique premises to it. So, I'm gonna get you to answer for me this graphic novel or that graphic novel. Hard decision, I know. Okay, that's a great choice once again. Sounds good, fantastic. I would have picked that one myself, I think. So, finally, I have 2 plant options for your this and that question, okay? Got a little potted plant and a big potted plant for you. So this one is this beautiful and very large growing ZZ plant. I love ZZ plants. I find they're so easy to care for. They can grow in most any light. I don't have to worry about them drying out because they have these special little roots that actually hold water, which is so cool. Kind of remind me of like a cactus or something, but even more so. But anyways, there's some dust on him here. Got quite a few long growths on him here as well. I've got some more little new ones coming in once again right here, so very happy about that. And I've got it in this adorable ladybug pot. It's got all these like red ladybugs on it and on these big green leaves, and then it's got this light baby blue kind of sky background happening. Okay. That's plant number 1. I'm just gonna gently lean him against me there. And then plant number 2 is my yellow croton in this adorable cow pot here. The cow's got this little cute brown nose, little brown ears, 2 eyes. It's got a brown base with these brown little feet as well. And then the typical cow, white with black patches on it. That's very cute. The leaves themselves are different variants of green with lots of bright yellow splotches on them. I'm gonna have to repot this guy soon, I think, because he's outgrown his space and he's given me a bit of trouble. So he's lost a couple leaves that were here, unfortunately. So I think I just need to move into a bit bigger of a home and then see how he does. So for your final this or that, I'd like you to pick a plant for me. This plant or this one. Oh, that was a fast decision. Okay. You know what you want, then that is great. Well, thank you so much. Let me put these down 1 second. Okay. Well, thank you so much, dear, for playing along. I hope that you found it relaxing. Maybe it even put you to sleep. Maybe you're asleep even right now. But whether or not you're asleep, I hope it brought you a little bit of distraction and a little bit of relaxation. Okay? So let me know if you'd love to see any more this or that videos in the future. Or let me know if you've got any fun ideas for especially some non-roleplay videos. Okay? I hope you take care and I will see you soon. Okay.